On to overtime.
Dwayne Wade right at the body of Anderson Varejao. Welcome to your Kodak moment, Anderson Varejao.
Doncic pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good! Doncic wins the game at the buzzer!
Yeah,
I feel like that's the worst case scenario for the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I wasn't high. I know we're gonna talk about draft stuff later, but I wasn't really high on Cole Anthony. But with the hiring of Johnny Bryant, who I mean, maybe it's if we can maybe do a trade down, like maybe do like a Celtics kind of trade 8 for like 14 and 16, which I believe the Celtics have. I wouldn't be opposed to taking a risk on Cole Anthony.
I'm very anti Cole Anthony. I don't see a lot of good there. I see like Clippers Baron Davis, like really washed Baron Davis. I mean, he still has the athleticism. He just doesn't do anything efficiently. And that scares me, man. That's a really bad situation for a lead guard. Let's move on to the draft stuff though. Do we want to start with pick 8, which, Knicks fall in the lottery, what else is new? Or do we want to talk about the options at 28 and that flexibility that pick 28 gives the Knicks?
Should we start with 8? I guess since that's
I mean,
all right. Well, initially the Knicks were probably hoping to go up to get LaMelo Ball, but he's obviously not going to be there for them at 8. Some options that I really like for them would be Tyrese Halliburton, but I think he's going to go to Chicago most likely, or honestly, Atlanta could also take him. There's a lot of different guys who would want that, steady, thinks the game quickly already type of player. Killian Hayes could be an option, but again, doubt he falls that far. So then you have Kira Lewis, who's certainly an option. Isaac Okoro, the defensive stud out of Auburn. Aaron Naismith, who shot over 50% from 3 on 8 attempts a game at Vanderbilt. And then probably my favorite choice of the bunch, Devin Vassell, shooting guard out of FSU. I see a lot of Kentucky Devin Booker and Devin Vassell. I really like him as a prospect. He's, at FSU, he was guarding the other team's best player while, running off of screens and hitting threes all the time. I think he could be awesome for what RJ needs, and I think he's also a Tibbs kind of guy. But let me ask you guys, who do you think is the best option at the 8th overall pick? Kevin, let's start out with you. Just give me a name.
I like Killian Hayes.
All right, Nora, what about you? And we'll go into depth on both of these guys.
I'm thinking Devin Vassell at 8.
All right, let's start Killian Hayes. French point guard at number 8 didn't really work out for the Knicks last time. But he does have relatively high potential as someone who's going to make shots, defend, do all of that. I question how high his potential can be, but he does have a chance to be a lead guard. Can his shooting really fit with RJ Barrett? Can he set up RJ? I'm not sure, but God, I think lots of Knicks fans are hoping for Hayes. Do you think Hayes is the best option for the Knicks as far as point guard goes with where they're situated? Kevin, because it's your guy.
I mean, I think you understand. Like, just to start off, you might know that I do have a certain love for French point guards, but
RJ also knows French, so who knows? Maybe that RJ Frank Hayes combo.
You just got to get as many
just
French players as possible.
Yeah, exactly. You got to go full European, but I just think, I don't know. I mean, at least with him, what I've seen is that just like he has, like, from what I've heard, like he's just like an offensive, I don't want to say juggernaut, but like he's just like very good on the offensive side. So like he has like an IQ that almost like a lot of young players don't really come out with that. And then even then, he had like a 42% 3-point percentage when he played in Germany.
At
Everything.
home, Killian Hayes shot 39% from three, 12.8 points per game. However, did have 3.3 turnovers per game, which is not, great.
Yeah, on 6 assists.
Yeah. Which, you'll take the good with the bad, but do you really want a ball-dominant point guard alongside RJ? Which is part of the reason why I'm so out on Cole Anthony. Let's talk a little Devin Vassell. I'm really high on Vassell. As I said, Kentucky, Devin Booker right there. But I think his ball handling is getting underrated just because FSU never asked him to do that. FSU minimized his role, and now he's coming into the draft. And I think there's so many elements of his game that are unexplored. What do you think let's ask this. What do you think the scouting report on Devin Vassell will be when he steps into the league? What do you think teams will be planning for? Nor, because it's your pick here.
Yeah, so I mean, I think the scouting report is the guy is the shooter. I mean, if I'm correct, he shoots 4 shots per game, 4 threes per game.
Let me look this up.
Yeah. I think it wasn't on like Naismith volume, but my guess is
he shot 41% from three, 73.8% from free throw. So that's going to translate. And how many attempts? I think it's about 6 attempts a game.
Oh wow,
3.
That's a lot more than I thought.
It is. Let's see. He shot. Ooh, thank you, ad, for ruining everything. Thank you, second ad, for ruining everything.
Ads.
He shot 106 threes over how many games? Well,
so it looks like
no, you're right. It's 3.5.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously it's like that improvement already. He went from 2 threes per game in his first year, and then second he went up with good percentage. Yeah, I think he's going to be seen as a 3-and-D until he shows he has an offensive game.
I legitimately think this guy could be Chris Middleton.
Chris Middleton? Yeah, no, that would be most ideal. And I think the one thing I really like about him is the fact that he's the most NBA ready, I think, of the choices. Naismith, I think you can make an argument that he only played 12 games, so it's not the most trustworthy. Obviously, I think he's going to be a great shooter no matter what. But it's the Knicks have taken a lot of projects at 8. I mean, not 8, but in the last few drafts, you have Kevin Knox, you have Frank. It hasn't turned out great.
It really hasn't turned out great because none of those projects have worked out.
Exactly. I mean, I guess Porzingis. Wait, who did you say? Sorry.
I mean, none of those projects have worked out, really. Porzingis may have been a project, but he was also a top 5 pick, not a, fringe 8 pick, fringe top 10 pick.
Yeah. Yeah, so for me, it's just why not take the safest pick if he's available, which I'm actually starting to get worried he's not. I think teams may be onto him.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out great for the Suns last year. They took Cameron Johnson, who, certainly wasn't the 11th best rookie last year, but he was super consistent and he brought, a level of stability to a team that did not have it in Phoenix. So I think Devin Vassell, if he does fall to the Knicks, because I do think a lot of people are kind of keying in on how great he could be. If they do end up with Vassell, he could really calm down the storylines in this team.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be consistent. I mean, it's kind of like the story of maybe I think when you look back at the Knox draft, would you rather have Knox or Bridges? And I think Knox at the time I think even now he has higher potential, but
I would rather have Mikal Bridges than Michael Porter Jr. even.
Yeah, I mean, this seems like the safe pick, but I think a team like the Nuggets could take the risk, and they did it with Bol as well. So, I mean, but a team like that could take a risk. I don't know if the team like the Knicks should at this point.
Yeah, I mean, the question is, do you take Devin Vassell? Patrick Williams is probably going to be on the board, and he has all the potential in the world, but is going to the Knicks really going to be the place where he can fulfill that potential?
Yeah,
So
exactly. And I mean, I know I keep bringing this up, but I think the fact that we're kind of showing a direction towards player development, it like could be worth it. But I don't know if I trust it just yet, just because we hired 2 people.
exactly, it's all about. I think when you get people into the building, like you get Leon Rose, who's new, you get Tom Thibodeau, who's new. You really want to make sure your first draft pick is a hit. So I think we're going to see the Knicks being a lot more, passive in this draft. Um, but I mean, at the same time, Leon Rose is an agent. We don't know if he's going to go all in. But I think we are going to see them either it's going to be a huge move or they're going to go for someone consistent. And those are the only 2 options. Like either they're trading Mitchell Robinson and the 8th pick for the 2nd pick, which I think is a idiotic trade, and then taking LaMelo Ball, or they're going to stick around. They're going to draft Vassell. Maybe they move up from 28 to get someone in the middle of the first round. They got 3 first-round picks, 3 second-round picks this year, excuse me, and another 2 next year, and they'll just kind of try to figure it out.
Yeah.
But
Oh, you start going.